This is David Hakan, roving reporter for Americana Highways, collecting the stories of Americana music. I'm here at the Walnut Valley Music Festival with Chris Goering. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you, David. It's really nice to be here.
Well, first, tell us about your award at this festival.
All right, so I was named the alternate winner, which I think is maybe a better name for second place, although you can become the winner if the winner doesn't show up. So I realized that earlier today when that happened to some other people. But I was the alternate winner for the category Sweet Memories. And so I would say that I've not spent a lot of my life entering songwriting contests, but I've entered many more than I'd received any recognition from. And I would say for sure this is like a biggie, because all the people who are here and the tradition and history of songwriters that have come through here is something that I've taken note of for a long time. So
Great. What made you start being interested in playing music growing up?
It's good. This could probably be more the length of a dissertation, but I'll give you kind of the shorter, more friendlier version. I think music was always something that was in me, if that makes sense. It was something that I really loved, and I didn't really like to play all that much as a kid, and so I started playing trumpet in the band in 5th grade. I had to pick an instrument. I kind of wanted to play saxophone, but those were $800, and the trumpets were only $400, and I think Dad wasn't real sure I was going to stick with it. Well, I did actually stick with the trumpet for 8 years, and then my senior year of high school I ended up switching to the treble clef baritone, and I loved that, and actually that fit me really well, and so I really kind of liked that lower end side of things, if you will. But I didn't play guitar. I didn't own a guitar. I wasn't really interested in that. There were kids in my school, in my class that did, and that just wasn't me. I don't know how else to say it. And so when I went to college, I ended up living with a guy, part of several roommates, who was really into music, loved to play, played all the time. But he had a left-handed guitar. And so he was trying to teach my other roommate and I, Greg and I, this guy's name's Kurt, he was trying to teach us how to play, but we had to get our own guitars because we had to turn his upside down in order to play. So I actually learned to play, the initial stuff kind of on a upside down left-handed guitar, and but then I did end up getting to borrow a bass guitar from a mentor and friend of mine, Kevin Nolan, who actually just passed away a couple weeks ago. But he had loaned me this bass guitar, and this was just the sweetest sounding thing ever. And so I figured, well, if I could play bass, I could play along with Kurt, and he could do all the guitar stuff, and he was a big Van Halen fan and whatever else. And so we set this all up in the living room, and I had this big amplifier stack that was 6 feet tall, and this beautiful, I've never heard an Ibanez bass sound as good as this one. It just was perfect. And lo and behold, a few months pass, and the house gets broken into. All of that gets stolen. So my friend's guitar and bass amp that he'd loaned to me ended up getting stolen. And so that was kind of a little bit of a stop, and then a few years later, I got another bass for Christmas from my parents, and then picked up a secondhand guitar, $5, $10 thing somewhere. But I didn't really try to play guitar at all or get into songwriting until I started playing bass with a guy out of Sharon, Kansas, Aaron Traffis, and part of the Aaron Traffis band. So about 20 years ago, we formed the Aaron Traffis band, and I was a bassist, and this guy Mason Powell was a drummer, and started playing shows around northeast Kansas and around the state. And what really hooked me about that, while I love the bass playing stuff, what really hooked me about that was the songwriting. And so then I did fork over some of my student loan. I was in graduate school at the time, so I forked over some of my student loan money and bought this plastic Martin that you see in front of you. So this is HPL, front, sides, back. It's got wood on the inside and wood on the neck and stuff, but definitely the lowest end electric Martin you could purchase at that time. So that's still my guitar. So
Great. Well, what Americana artists have you been influenced by?
Yeah, it's a long list, and certainly trying to figure out how to pick those. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna defer to my brother. My brother was listening to a song by a guy Chris Knight out of Slaughters, Kentucky, and he has been a huge influence on me. I love his music. I love his songwriting. The way he is able to parse words and just get to the very core distilled part of a song, and it just hits so hard because he's so gifted at that. And I've seen him probably 10 or 15 times. And so my brother was listening to one of my songs, and he said, well, I thought this, or he was listening to a Chris Knight song. I said, I thought this was a Chris Goering song. And I'm like, hey man, I tell you, that is the ultimate compliment, because I think the world of him. And so he's still somebody that I follow and listen to. Probably would have to throw James McMurtry in there. I don't think I'm nearly as gifted of a writer as James McMurtry, nor will I ever be, and I'm okay with that. But to say that he's not a huge influence in the ability to tell, a 3-part novel series in 3.5 to 4.5 minutes just always blows me away. So, I mean, if I had to pick two, at least today, those are the two. Really, really important people.
So tell us about the spark for the song you're going to play for us.
Okay, so this first song that I'll play for you today is a song called Turkey Red, and this is kind of my family's immigration story, and part of what I was trying to do with this song was just several years ago now. This came out in 2019. So several years ago, I was sort of noticing that a lot of the people that I was around, in near Fayetteville, Arkansas, and that area, and just around the world, around the country, had immigration stories, but yet they were being very critical towards immigrants in our own country. And I said, well, I wanted to look in and just to learn a little bit more about my family's immigration story on the Goering side. And so that story traces back to Swiss Volhynian Mennonites that came over to escape religious persecution in Russia. And so they had immigrated from Switzerland to Russia to escape religious persecution, and then they found out that the persecution continued there. And part of their belief system is that they were conscientious objectors to war, and so they didn't serve and that kind of thing. And I don't know, I was thinking about that, about my grandfather and my great-grandfather would have been able-bodied people during wartime and that kind of thing, and I just started to really ruminate on that. I don't know that part of it actually comes in the song, but that was something that moved it forward, and then I got to just to think about the different things that they experienced and that they did to allow me to be here, and just that notion of, they came over on the ship into the middle of Kansas when there would have been absolutely nothing around and, no support kind of thing. And they clawed and fought their way and were able to be successful. And one of the things that they did, where the title of the song comes from, is they brought over the Turkey Red hard winter wheat from the actually Ukraine area of Russia. And then now that's grown and is part of the genetics of pretty much all of the wheat grown in the United States. And so they brought this over, the Mennonites did, and it's still something that's, kind of a going thing, and so that's where Turkey Red comes from.
Great. Let's hear that song.
Okay. I'm the turkey red winter wheat, the waves green in winter time. I'm the intersection of two streets, there's my names on each sign. I'm my great uncle who died in the fire pasture grass. He was the apple of great granddad's eye. That farm truck burned so fast. I'm named after the man they named the town after. I'm the hope and the pain and the tears of laughter. Car games played till dawn, carriages all horse-drawn, hanging silent in our barn. They still hang in our barn. I'm the tillers under Russian snow, the hardy plant that refused to die. I'm the resistance my ancestors showed to oppression when they refused to fight. And I'm the boat that carried the grain when the czars forced out the refugees. I'm the home they made on the Great Plains. They could pray and farm in peace. And I'm named after the man they named the town after. I'm the hope and the pain and the tears of laughter. Card games played till dawn, carriages all horse-drawn, hanging silent in our barn. They still hang in our barn. The women who kept us alive with their faith and the strength of a dozen men. I'm the rust on the butchery knives and the prayer it would rain again. I'm named after the man they named the town after. I'm the hope and the pain and the tears of laughter. Card games played till dawn, carriages all horse-drawn, hanging silent in our barn. They still hang in our barn.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Love the images in that.
Yeah. Thank you, David. That's a song I started to write and kind of had some different images in it. There's a place in Moundridge, Kansas, for example, where both of my first and last name are the street signs. So intersection of Christian and Goering Street. So that is kind of the different thing. But then brought it to a friend of mine that I've been writing songs with really since I was in his band, Aaron Traffis, and we ended up getting a co-write on that one and 3 other songs that we put out in 2019 on an album called Turkey Red, which is available all the digital places that fine music is available, of course. So
Great.
yeah.
Would you do another song for us?
Sure. Yeah, I think so. Politicians talking through my screen, calling names, saying hurtful things. Parents in the store yelling at their kids, those babies don't know what they did. Guess it's a story as old as time. Fear and hate getting our hearts and minds. When we try to do better than we had, sometimes the good gets beat up by the bad. Hurt people, just like me and you. Hurt people, I ain't making an excuse. It's a timeless tradition, this much I know is true. Hurt people, that's just what they do. There's a person only here to complain. I'm tired of there's a person only here to complain. I'm wondering what's behind that rage. I'm sure your service wasn't great, my friend. I hate people doing the best they can. And I'm never really sure just what to say when I see someone's angry face. After all, they might have a gun, might pull it out and try to kill someone. Hurt people, just like me and you. Hurt people, I ain't making an excuse. It's a timeless tradition, this much I know is true. Hurt people, that's just what they do. You could put me in charge of the world for a day. I'd take away everyone's pain. We'd all start healing our scars and love so much it'd light the stars. Hurt people, just like me and you. hurt people. I ain't making an excuse. It's a timeless tradition. This much I know is true. Hurt people, hurt people. That's just what we do. A little rough on that one, but that is a new one. I could play that at the new song showcase tomorrow. I'm still kind of working out the pieces of it a little bit, but you know, I feel compelled to keep working on that one, maybe more than others, given everything going on in the world and what have you. So
you bet. Well, thanks so much, Chris Goering, for coming in today.
You bet. Thanks so much for having me. It's been an honor, and I'll look forward to seeing what else is next at Winfield for the rest of the day.
Thanks.